Anyone from here are also maybe perhaps confused as to what career they would like to pursue? Because when I was starting out with my career, there's a lot of questions in my mind. Going forward, the very first thing that we want to actually think of is to have a self-awareness, to find what you really want, what your dreams, your visions in life, what you really want to pursue after years, and how to really become self-aware. Of course, the first is to identify your strengths and weakness. And I see a lot of students, getting confused. Sometimes, why do we want to have this? Why do we need to put everything about our strengths and weakness? So basically, growth begins when we begin to accept our own weakness. And that's basically just one of the things that I always think of. Like, people get so confused whether they would like to just focus on strength. But when you look at your weakness, you can actually find people to learn from that. The second is to actually be a lifelong learner. Because again, if you identify your weakness, that's a time that you have to open yourself, that you have a lot of things to learn. And of course, if you are willing to be a self-learner, you will develop yourself. So, and how to actually be one. So basically, I also have this one thing is to find people that you can learn with them. Maybe you have like a professor that you actually, you learn a lot from him or her, then you can maybe perhaps that becomes your mentor. The second was to always have this openness for multiple perspectives. When we are in that place that we can learn from any, multiple perspectives, that's the time that we are opening ourselves to learn more. And of course, the third was to always steal best practices. So this is not the negative to mean when we say steal, it's always like getting something to others, but it's actually taking note how they do things, and then maybe you can adapt that kind of also practices. And of course, to be actually absorb and observe. So what's the difference between that? So when you say absorb, you're learning from them, you're adapting their mindsets, how they work with. And of course, the observe is very important thing, because like people always think that you have to always speak, you have to always engage, but sometimes being an observant is one important thing to also consider. And the last one here is to learn much faster. So what does it mean? When you have a mentor in your life, it actually helps you bridge between who you are today and who you will be in the future. So what does it connect with, or why is it important? What are the things that I should, do, or anything? So it's basically starting from the small. Maybe you can write journals, or maybe you can start creating something out of your interest, because I believe if you can start with small and commit yourself to that small thing, then perhaps if you have like a big things that you can do, maybe it's more feasible, it can happen. So projects is where you is helps you, get you where you want to go. And there's actually two types of that. The other one is actually industry type. So this is where you eventually build up your portfolio. And actually, the second here is the community-based project. So this is where, for example, you're part of initiatives, for example, teaching students, helping kids to actually learn specific things. So community-based projects helps you get more connected to your vision. Because again, when you go to industry, it's not always the technical that makes you stick on that career. It's always the soft skills. And of course, if you're done with the projects, yeah, you prepared for all of that. Of course, the next would be is to actually get involved now. So what does it mean? Get yourself involved now. Don't think of it like maybe a week later, but actually now. And thank you actually for attending Future Love. This is one of the communities really helps in terms of the mentorship. So yeah, that congrats for that. And now actually we're going to go here. It's actually create opportunity for yourself. So you're good now with your projects. You can now talk to people. You have a lot of skills now. But how can people know that you have all these, things? So of course, start connecting yourself with maybe events like this that you have, like, get to know with people that has the same mindset as you are or better than you are. And actually events is important because you get to learn what's the current trends in the industry and going to conferences to just upskilling yourself. And of course, second is to actually go with project collaborations. Yeah, you're good with doing it individually, but it's also important to always involve with projects that has like a lot of people because you can get more feedback. And the third is, this is the one important thing from the street. It's actually to showcase your work to the world. What does it mean? If you can actually post something about your hobbies that you eventually, present to people, then people will also see that, oh, this person has this certain skills. Why not maybe, could do collab and so on. So that's basically making yourself, attract opportunities. When you want to do an internship, I guess preparing for your interview is very important. So it doesn't need to be so, perfect plan, but just have the points that you need to do for you to be able to reach that certain goal. For me, it's always just learning the fundamentals. And then after learning the fundamentals, I try to do it on my own. Or if I can do it with people, then from there I get to, yeah, plan ahead of time on that. So of course, for example, you're someone who's preparing for interview. What I really suggest was to always consider that luck is important. Plus, luck is just one of the things that you can consider. And when you're prepared to something, like for example, you're involved with organizations, and then you want to go with a certain maybe company, and they are aligned to what you're doing. That's basically an advantage for you because it actually prepares you for the possible things that you would be doing once you get there. So I think that's something that really helps when you're starting with just joining those programs and so on. So of course, is to actually get to know the company. So my thing was like I always research a lot with the company that I really want to go. So I use actually LinkedIn. So this is the oldest this one I do use when we're like looking for internships. So if you haven't have any like LinkedIn, you can start creating one. So you can search a lot of people that has the same job description or job role. Then from there, get to see their post, if you get to learn anything from them, or maybe you can ask questions directly to them. So that helps you connect with these professionals and somehow they can help you connect with the future, recruiters that you want to go for. The second one here is to align. So for example, you're interested to doing internships related to project management. So of course, make sure to have your CV. So this is one of the thing that you should also start to craft your CV because this is where you put every experiences that you have, and then if it aligns with the possible career that you want to pursue, then people will see this relevant. For example, here, this is, for example, this on CV. So he put his name, details, and then from there he get to put his university where he graduates, and then all the, if he has like honors or if it's part of, this lister and so on. So everything is there. So you can start from now with your CV. It doesn't have to be this great. It always just focus on one and then maybe submit it to a certain organization or internship. Then you get to experience another one. So add it on your CV and then go apply again and then collect as much as, number of experiences so that you can become, have this kind of CV. So it's always start with one, go ahead, and then add that one to your CV and then collect again and then so on. So always document everything that you're doing.